Hey guys, this is Xamarin guys. So in this tutorial we are going to create multi-trigger for our given buttons. These are my two entries you can see over here. This is my first entry with username and this is my second entry. Here login button is binded with the given username as well as password. That means if two entries are filled, then only login button will be enabled or else it will not be enabled, and then we get navigated to next page if I click that. Like our previous tutorial, that is tutorial number 13, we have made use of converters in order to check the items and replace it with the given string. Here also in this tutorial we'll be using converters in order to check whether the given data is present within the given entry field or not. So let's start a new tutorial by creating a .NET Standard project. You can use your Visual Studio for Mac as well as Visual Studio for Windows in order to create such type of project. So at first we'll go to app.xaml.cs. It's the code behind where we are setting our my trigger page as our starting page. Here I have created three folders, in which the views folder I have created a content page whose name is my trigger page.xaml. This content page will take all its resources from the given class, that is my multi-trigger converter. Before going to that, we'll just discuss about the content page.content. I have taken out code from my tutorial number 6, that is for the given entry we are going to bind it as a two-way. You can follow that tutorial. I'll give all the source codes in the description below. You can take out codes from there. Or else if you want to understand, then follow this tutorial. Here we'll be creating label as well as entry, you can see over here. As we have already discussed about MVVM approach throughout my given Xamarin Forms advanced course sessions, I'll not go deep onto that. Here text is given as binding user as well as binding password, and mode is two-way. Here we will not be actually making a two-way binding for the given entry. For given demonstration only, I have placed mode as two-way. Here you have to understand the main core part, that is our button, whose name I have given as login button, and then text is login, and then font size is large. Here horizontal option is center, and then here I have said button is enabled property as false, that is our button is not going to be visible until it passes this condition, and then only the button is going to be visible. So let's deep dive into the given code. Here I have used multi-trigger for the target type of our button. You can see over here. The multi-trigger will at first target the given button, then we'll set some condition, that is binding is equals to binding source, and reference is going to be our entry username, that is USER, and then if that given entry contains some strings, then it is going to pass to the given converters. You can see over here. For the given password also, we are going to send it to the given converters using converter is equal to static resource, and then pass it to the given converter. After passing it to the given converter, then its value is going to be again returned back as true as well as false, and then the setter property is going to be enabled as well as disabled. In order to follow the MVVM approach, I'll be telling that the code behind of my trigger page, I'll be taking all its source from the given view model and then implement that iNotify property changed for our given entry. You can see over here, this is my code behind of my trigger page.xaml.cs. Here I'll be setting all its binding context towards our my trigger view model, which is placed inside my view models folder. If you have been following my previous tutorial, I have already discussed about iNotify property change, how it is defined within the given system.component models, and then how we gonna implement that. For our given tutorial, just we need to go for two-way binding for the given entry. So username as well as password, that is user as well as password, that is defined inside my trigger page. You can see over here the same name is going to be a two-way binding, and then simply the property is going to be changed for the given user as well as password using this onProperty change method. That is, at first if value is not changed, it is going to return back, otherwise it is going to set that given property change value. In this tutorial we'll be mainly focusing buttons because it's using multi-triggers for that, and then how a given button will know that the given entry is filled, and then it is going to set its property as enabled. At first we'll set that this be given button name, that is login button, when it is clicked using this statement, that is when it is clicked it is going to generate a given method. This is my name for the given button, and then if it is clicked, then it's going to navigate to a given dashboard page. It's a simple content page which is going to be navigated when the given button is clicked. This is my dashboard page which is going to be navigated whenever the given button is clicked. Here I have set background image as something you may like. Here I have placed that given image inside the resources folder of both Android as well as iOS. You can see over here inside our drawable folder I placed that icon image. You can download that image from anywhere and then place that image inside the resources folder of both project. Now let us go to our XAML part of my trigger page. Now our last objective is to send the binding user as well as binding password from the given entry to the given converters. That is our static resource data that has been sent through the given converters. My entry data is going to be provided to given converter class, that is my multi-trigger converter, with this help of key, and then again it is going to retrieve back with the help of this key value. So we need to locally define our multi-trigger converter, that is defined inside our converter folder. You can create a new converter folder, and then here I have created a new class as my multi-trigger converter.cs. So to let our XAML page to know about those converter class, we'll define it inside our local namespace. You can see over here, that is xmlns local namespace, that will be derived from our given converters folder. This is my project name, and then converters is my folder name. From there we are going to inherit that given class, and then using that iValue converter that is defined inside our Xamarin Forms is going to project me two methods, that is convert as well as convert back. So in this method, whenever our values gets transferred, that is path is equals to text.length from our given XAML page. This is our path is equals to text.length. Whenever its value exceeds, then it is going to convert its value as true, and then it is going to return back as setter property is enabled, and then our button is going to be enabled whenever it finds as value is equals to true for given username as well as password. This is where our setter property is going to be enabled whenever the value is placed inside our given entry with the help of given multi-triggers. That's all for this tutorial now. Thank you guys, thanks for watching. Keep in touch for next tutorials.